Good morning, people. International Glass Man, Real Spitters TV, Real Spitters Radio, RealSpitters.com coming at you, making knowledge born. We're not only making knowledge born, we got new music coming at you, you dig? But check it, right? Let's talk about it, because you know I like to talk. But what I'm going to talk about is how everybody likes to talk about nothing. And what I mean when I say everybody likes to talk about nothing, what kind of conversation, to go, to sit down and really have a conversation about what went on when I did my 5 years in jail. Who the fuck want to talk about that bullshit? That's some bullshit. But I notice a lot of people really wants to hear that. You know what I'm saying? And I don't understand why. But then I do understand why. Because what happens is some people would like to know how black people live on the other side. Because their lives ain't as messed up as ours, I guess that's how you say it. Because we come from the grit. We come from the grit. And my thing is this. If we're going to talk about it, let's talk about something constructive. Let's talk about ways to build together as opposed to, yo, this nigga was fooled when he was on the island. Well, he couldn't live. What that got to do with a community starving? What that got to do with the police killing niggas for no reason? Let's talk about how do we stop those things from happening. T.I. caught wind of a racist picture or something that was printed on a Gucci sweater or a shirt or something. He decided he wanted to boycott Gucci. Good thing, right? However, why should I have to boycott something that does nothing for the community? I shouldn't want to spend my money there anyway. However, this is the funny thing, right? People will spend $500 on a Gucci, whatever, but won't spend $100 for the same kind of material from 40 acres and a mule, black owned. I'm trying to figure out what's wrong with the thought process of the melanated world. And what happens is a statement they make, you can be told a lie for so long, you begin to believe the lie. Mm-hmm. And that's what happened. Even with watching movies, if you pay attention to movies, they kind of, as you say, belittle us in our face. Let's take notice to the movie Night of the Living Dead. Because melanated people in America is walking zombies. They're the walking dead because they have the slightest clue as to who they are. And that's the biggest problem in the black community. They don't know who they are enough to determine where they want to go. So they caught up in this world where they create this movie and they inject themselves into this world that they create that's actually this movie because it's not realistic. Now, when we start talking realistic, let's say shot by a black. But when you look at the community, there's no way to do that because there's nothing that's black owned. Why is that? Because we don't take enough time to sit down and talk about real issues as opposed to the bullshit. And when I say that, I mean those dumb war stories that people tend to want to listen to. And then when you watch movies like, let's take Gods of Egypt for one. The black god that they show you in the Gods of Egypt tells you he's been around since everything began. The black brother. Now, how is that possible? Because they're telling you the truth right there in front of your face. But because you so caught up in the cinema of it that you don't even see the reality of it. And they're telling you in your face, you're the mother and fathers of civilization. Right there. You know, you're not taking time to pay attention to certain things. Pay attention to the fact that at what point do you say to yourself, I need to create something that's going to help the community evolve, elevate. I need to come amongst people who are sitting around talking about things that's going to elevate the community. Not frivolous conversation. Oh, Dr. Dre got the latest beats, yeah, $100, $200. What does that do for you as a people? Nothing. But get you more in debt, more broke, and more needy. When the conversation should be, okay, what can we do together to make things better for our community to grow? Nobody wants to have this conversation. Why? And then if I sit here and I say something pertaining to this conversation, people look at me and go, wow, this my money. Like, I'm the dumbest person in the world because I'm not talking about the latest drip or the latest nonsense. I don't care about what the next remake or rerun of Jordans is coming out. I don't care about that. Jordan ain't doing nothing for me. I don't care about what Jay-Z is doing with the NFL and all that because Jay-Z or the NFL ain't doing nothing for me. Those that's working for that can talk about that because they work for the NFL. They're football players. Mm-hmm. They're referees. They're coaches, whatever, doctors, trainers, whatever, because they work for them and they can talk about that. I don't want to talk about nothing that's not putting $1 in my pocket, not putting food on my table. There's no point in me talking about that when it does nothing for me at home or around me or in my community. That's the farthest thing I need to be talking about in my everyday conversation. That's the furthest because it does nothing for me. But people are elect to sit down and go, nah, I don't want to listen to that dude because I'm talking about things that make sense. But if I was sitting here telling you about my time spent on Raggers Island, I have 1,000 people listening to that bullshit. Nonsense. You'll have 1,000 people listening to that. You know, but because I'm talking about something for the betterment of myself and my community, my people don't want to hear that. And that's sad. But that's the things we need to be talking about. And like I say, we need to be in the schools telling these kids how to stay away from things of that nature because you don't have to necessarily sell drugs to survive. You don't necessarily have to knock somebody over the head to survive. You know, there's so many things you could do to earn your way positively. It's a shame, but nobody's thinking along those lines. And honestly, it wasn't no one person or one thought process that came up with building a home, making a television. The idea came from one person to another person who had another idea on how to put the pieces together to bring the technology forward. So it was through collective efforts, collective thoughts that created such things. At what point do we bring that back into the fold? Because we're losing. We're definitely losing. We're the last in everything, except when it comes to entertainment. We're the best at entertaining people. We could do that without a problem. Do that without a problem. And that's all that they're going to ever want to utilize us for, and to steal our ideas and claim them for themselves. We got to start putting these ideas together, and we got to start using our little bit of dollars to invest in each other, to come up, to create something for us, to have something. Or, believe it when I tell you, when you see the chains come back out of slavery, then you'll understand what I'm talking about, because nobody's making an effort, a push to change your situation. You're becoming comfortable, complacent with the little bit of crumbs that's still being doled out to us. Because the boule, the ones who got a little bit more, ain't trying to give you nothing. And then when they do try, you get situations like Bill Cosby. Where now they're going to do everything in their power to assassinate your character. That don't work. Then they're going to assassinate your ass completely. Because they already got him in jail. They already got him in jail. What, to just destroy his legacy? For what? You can't destroy that man's legacy. Not with that bullshit. Because you hear everybody say all the time, we're the heads who promoted this shit. Because at no point did they say it happened in Bill's home, anywhere near his home. It was always at a hotel, which means they was already throwing a party somewhere. Who was hosting the event and bought the drugs? Nobody don't want to talk about that, though. But everybody want to talk about Bill and him drugging motherfuckers. They was drugging motherfuckers since they knew how to make the drug from the fucking plant. You serious? You serious? And in our case, we ain't got to drug a motherfucker for nothing. Because they be coming at us wanting to give it to us anyway. Word. Bill ain't had to drug none of them bitches. Bill ain't had to drug near one of them raggedy motherfuckers. But because that's something everybody want to utilize to go along with, and come on. At what point do we get better with that? Stop buying into the bullshit. Just like with the R. Kelly situation, you know what I'm saying? Everybody's buying into that. Understandable. The grown-ass man is wrong for messing with them little-ass girls. Dead-ass wrong. However, as a parent, my 16, 17-year-old ain't getting no money to go cross country for shit. Hell no. And if you do make it across country to get wherever the fuck you going, stay your ass there. Because I'm not telling you, I'm accepting you going anywhere, chasing down, nothing. So once you get your raggedy ass there, stay your raggedy ass there. Because I told you not to go. Now, in any case, in any event, you know, let's be realistic here. As men and women, when we come of age to understand certain things about life, we make decisions to do what we're going to do when we want to do it. So if I make a conscious decision, this is what I want to do, I can't be mad about what it is you want to do. This is what you want to do. Only thing I would like for you to do in the process, just let me know you're safe. That's it. That's it. Hopefully in the process, you make better of yourself than I did with my years of creating all the bullshit drama I created in my life. As long as you do better than that, then God bless. But 9 times out of 10, man, looking at the way things is going, woo-wee. Wow. But, like I said, I want to talk about us getting together and building something that we can call our own eventually. That's it. Because when we look at politics, because we ain't got our own political party, nothing's never going to change for us. Because the people we're voting in there that's supposed to be making changes for us get bought out. Mm-hmm. They're no longer working for us. They're working for the other side. So until we get some people who's going to constantly work for our side, our vote really don't mean shit. It really doesn't. And until people understand and believe that, your vote don't mean nothing, because corporate America ain't a country. It's a corporation. It's been that way since the Depression. When those 5 families called in them bank loans. Look it up. It's there. That's history. And before I say something out my mouth, I'm going to research it. And I'm going to do a little fact checking. Because I don't ever want to be called a liar about nothing. So if I said it, that means I looked it up. And it's there. You can find it. Just like I say about the Constitution. A lot of people has not read the Constitution to understand what it says. Until you read it for yourself, don't let people just tell you anything. Because then you lost already. But it's about each one teach one. So, like I say, people, the sharing of information goes a long way. So help me to help make knowledge born. That's all I ask. And anyone in the Bedford-Stuyvesant area that knows somebody that has space available for at least 20 to 30 youths to sit and learn some things about marketing, business, and some of the things that they can do for themselves, I would greatly appreciate being able to utilize that space for an hour or two, maybe 2-3 days out of a week. I greatly appreciate that. Just so they can get some information that's going to take them in a different direction than the direction they might be headed in already. Because we got to get our kids off the street, man. We got to figure out how we're going to do this to get them kids off the street and get them to learning that words are powerful. Words are interchangeable in which the context they are used. So if you ain't reading, actually you're dying. You're losing. Don't get lost in the shift. Bring it back. Come on home. Let's help make knowledge born. International Glass Man, I'm out. Peace.